Hello and welcome to my birthday vlog here at the National Railway Museum in York. On a cold, miserable day in York, there's no better place to go than go and have a look at some trains. Hope you can join me. So, just got into the National Railway Museum in York. Let's go and have a look at the newly reopened Station Hall. Train which is a little bit more special than most of the others, and it's just coming up right now. It's an old royal train, so because there's the standard and the crown on the front of the engine. Really nice colour as well. Should we go and see how the royals used to travel? Should we go the other half with? Look at that. Now, if I could have a train carriage that looked like that, I'd willingly travel on the rails every single day. Just watching the British countryside go whisking by. That's such a lovely train. I mean, this has just recently reopened after its enforced closure, and you still can't actually go on any, in any of the exhibits like the Shinkansen that I put in last time, or this Pullman carriage here, being pulled by the Stevenson diesel. But it is still such a lovely place to walk around. The best bit I love about this place is, even though it is free to get a ticket, you can get a ticket for an admission time and just turn up, but you can also buy a ticket and offer something for charity, which I have done today. £5 I offered give them for charity. So that's what it is, people's donations keep places like this open. I mean, it is just really nice to see old locomotives just restored and made to look like they did when they were on the rails. So this part, the last time I came, especially this, wasn't open, and it's actually between the hall and the Great Hall. So on a nice day, which this isn't, this would be a really nice place to bring a picnic. If really nice place. It's not too busy because it's a Thursday and the kids are in school. Yeah, no, I've not been here since, it might have been last year. Yeah, last year. So, yeah, it's mad. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to the original video in the description down below. But the reason I'm here, probably two reasons, is one, there's a Flying Scotsman exhibit here and I think it's open. And number two, because it's the resting place of the fastest and greatest steam engine of all time. Number 4468. Let's give it its title, Mallard. Now this steam locomotive still holds the speed of 126 miles an hour, which is the fastest steam locomotive ever. And it quite happily displays it right on its side. And it's LNER blue. This thing just looks absolutely amazing. And that is the carriage it was pulling that registered the speed of 126 miles an hour. It just looks amazing, doesn't it? So as you can imagine, when LNER built that, the London Midland Scottish Railway built this. This is the London Midland and Scottish Railway's competitor, the Duchess of Hamilton. And as you can see, it's pretty much built the same way, with a sloped front to help with air resistance, make it go faster. And you can, as you can tell, it's actually bolted on all the way up the top there. But look at the size of those wheels. I mean, these trains weren't built too far away. This one was built in Crewe, and that one was built in Doncaster, so not too far away from each other. But no matter what London Midland Scottish Railway did, they couldn't beat the LNER's speed. Let's go and have a look inside the cab of this steam engine. Look at all those dials. And there's the fire, accelerator, brake, and all that was full of coal. Train drivers today have got it so easy, haven't they? Now, last time I came here, this great hall was open. So I think we'll focus on that a little bit less than what we did last time. But today, in my last video, the north shed was closed. Not today, it isn't. So we're going to go and have a look inside the north shed. And I went my length there, tripped over a railway sleeper. So we're going to have a look inside the north shed and see what's going on in there. Now that is Mallard, but it's in its British Rail green with its British Rail number 60022. When it was given to the National Rail Museum in York, they put it back in its Garter blue, as it has stayed to this day, and that was the livery it actually did the speed record run in. So if you remember, a couple of vlogs ago, I actually was pulled by the Flying Scotsman. The Flying Scotsman was basically restored there. Obviously, it's not there now, unless it's really small. So what I'll do is I'll put a link to the video of me being pulled by the Flying Scotsman in the description down below. And let's have a look at the story of the Flying Scotsman here at the National Railway Museum in York. So there is the designer of the Flying Scotsman, Sir Nigel Gresley. Same man responsible for Mallard, which is literally just through that door over there. And there's a very scaled down model of the Flying Scotsman. But it is an amazing engine. and it is quite rightly a national treasure. Hopefully to be looked after for many a year to come. Can you actually believe it was actually left in an army base by the Americans? Fortunately, it's here in Britain where it will stay for the rest of its days. And that's quite nice. You've got the Flying Scotsman there, you've got Mallard at the bottom. So whenever they get a new train in or they need to do some maintenance or a rebuild, it'll come through those doors and it'll go there. It's covered up at the minute. So yeah, Flying Scotsman was painstakingly restored here and then moved to the East Lancashire Railway in Bury for completion. But it's just amazing to think that it was once there in that space. So, the National Railway Museum isn't just filled full of trains. Oh no. It's also filled with quite a lot of old signs and old signals, and it makes for quite an interesting walk around. But even I didn't expect it to be like this. Look at all of this stuff. Remember, this is the national collection, so you can't just walk out with this stuff. This is my kind of storeroom. You just walk around anywhere and you just get real large scale version of trains. Imagine trying to build a garage this big now. It'd cost you thousands. It's just amazing that this is all in the national collection and you can see it all for free. But it's amazing. I'm wearing a mask, but honestly, behind this mask is the smile a mile wide. It's just ridiculous. Now there is a very old Tyne and Wear metro map. Goes behind the train here, but see that red and blue line now? They're no longer used. It's just yellow and green. And it is a vlog that's going to be done in the very near future. Now, I did say in my previous video that there's the bridge that's in Harry Potter is actually at York Station. Well, I've actually found something else that's linked to Harry Potter. Just look over my shoulder. Top of 9 3/4. A wall. When I was younger, I used to have like pulley things in signals. I used to be able to operate these. Where now I think it's just a bit push button and see what happens exercise, but turned off and still not in use. Now, before in the video I mentioned that isn't open. It turns out... What was I talking about? It's open. unlikely that this is, or was, the fastest train in the world.
Says not eating or drinking.
Now, who wants to see underneath a steam engine? More specifically, that steam engine. Now I know the Mallard's wheels and the Duchess of Hamilton wheels are quite big, but look at the size of these wheels on this British brute. Look at the size of those wheels. And I think I could probably fit underneath where the wheels are. Yup, I was right. I can actually fit underneath this locomotive. And I'm actually roughly the same height as these wheels. Imagine this going at full chat. Now, as avid watchers of the channel would know, Mallard is, by a country mile, my favourite steam locomotive ever. I know we've seen it from the side, but let's have a look at the cab where the driver was on that amazing day when it set the speed record. Mallard, unlike Flying Scotsman, is it will never see the outside world again. It's going to be stood in here for the rest of its days, and I'll keep coming to see it because I love this thing. And the reason why is somewhere in there there's a cracked boiler, and it would cost far too much to restore it and have to put it out on the rails. But if there's anyone watching this video who's got a bit of money in the bank and wouldn't mind doing it for us, please do. Now, if you weren't born when it did the high-speed run, and I wasn't, you can actually go on that simulator there, and it actually simulates Mallard doing 126 miles an hour. You can't record yourself, but I have been on it. I did it in the previous video. If you don't like shaking or loud noises, don't do it. But honestly, I did it. It was amazing. And this train is just simply the greatest British invention ever. Now, if you want a bit more of a bird's eye view of the museum, right next to Mallard is a bridge. Check out this view. can you imagine this going under a bridge at full chat and all of the steam coming out of there? I think you'd come out looking very, very different. This is what I find amazing about rail travel. We've gone from things like that to things like that. And that's all in the space of less than 100 years. Which to me is frightening. Where are we going to be in another 100 years? I do know in China they've got a train that runs on magnets, so I don't know whether I get to see it or not, but if I do, it'll be on this channel. Now, if you've seen my birthday video, which comes out before this one, you'll know that I got something that had every underground station in London on. Just say thanks to the wife for that present. I can't wait to wear it. And next time I'm in London, I'll definitely be wearing it. But next time I'm in London, I'm going to go to somewhere that I said I'd go last time, but I never actually managed to go. We're going to go to the Post Office Museum. We're going to get to ride on one of these. Now, the main post office in London used to have its very own railway underground, so they can move all the letters. Sadly, it's closed with no plans to reopen it. But we're going to go and have a look at it next time I'm in London. Now, if you were to ask me what one of the greatest railway feats Britain's ever done, I would say the Channel Tunnel, which we did in cooperation with the French. But to build a tunnel underground, you need some heavy equipment. Now, the tunnel boring machines that built it are actually still under the sea. They're still under the channel somewhere. Don't know where it's been filled in. But the tunnel boring machine's going through. What collects all the soil and the earth that's in its way? The answer? One of these. There's a tunnel boring machine, goes in front of all of this lot, scoops all the stuff on, and it goes into there, and then they come out the Channel Tunnel and dump it somewhere else. Pretty impressive, really. Now, have you ever wondered, how does a steam train actually work? Well, wonder no more, because at the National Railway Museum in York, they've got a full-scale model. Look at this. This is a proper steam engine with its side taken off, so it shows you where all the coal goes, and then when they're shoveled in, where it goes forward. All the heat goes through here, goes through all those tubes, which powers this lovely assembly, and all the steam goes out of there. The Atlantic Coast Express. Now, when I was last here, there was one part that I thought I've got to have a look at that, see how big it is, but unfortunately it was closed. Today, however, it's reopened. So let's go and have a look at the National Railway Museum in York's model railway. You'll have heard quite a lot about HS2. What a waste of money it is. Well, this was one of the very first high-speed trains, so this was part of HS1, along with the Channel Tunnel. Now, at the time, that wasn't a waste of money, that was money well spent. And it's here today as a prime example as to what, well, back then what the future of rail travel was. As with any good museum, it's got a shop. I think we all know which part of the shop I've got an interest in. Flying Scotsman there, Mallard here. So what was we thinking? Beer, tea rings, mugs, towels, socks, hats, books, into Stevenson's rocket. Oh yeah, chocolate and fudge as well. 3D puzzles, the Flying Scotsman. So that's about do it for today's vlog here at the National Railway Museum in York. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, please like, share, comment, subscribe, also hit the notification button to miss a new video, and I'll see you all in the next one.